first of all, I already introduced this idea to us a couple days ago, right? The multiplicative inverse. Multiplicative inverse simply means what? Kyle, what's the multiplicative inverse of 7/9? Just flip it. Okay, that's all you have to do. 9/7. Everybody give me the multiplicative inverse of 5/2. Alright? Multiplicative inverse of 5/2 is 2/5. Multiplicative inverse of 1/9 is 9/1, which is 9. The multiplicative inverse of 1/9 is 9. Give me the multiplicative inverse of 4. Everybody do that. This one's a little bit tougher. You got to understand some properties. Okay. Fantastic. Fantastic. Okay. Everybody saw this. As a fraction, this would be 4/1. So the multiplicative inverse is 1/4. Now, let me show you the cool thing about multiplicative inverses. Okay? First of all, multiplicative inverse, just by the name, should give you an idea of something. Multiplicative inverse, what word do you hear in there? Sabrina, what word do you hear in there when I say multiplicative inverse? Multiple or multiplication. That's the word, okay? Multiplication. Watch what happens when we multiply these, okay? Watch what happens when you multiply a number and its inverse. To multiply, just go across, reduce before it's a lot. So Zara, 7 and 7 reduces to? 1. And 9 and 9 reduces to? 1. So we multiply across. 1 times 1 is 1. 1 times 1 is 1. And 1 divided by 1 is 1. So, when you multiply a number and its inverse, the answer is going to be 1. 5/2 times 2/5 is what, Alex? 1. Ileana, 1/9 times 9 is 1. Janice, 4 times 1/4 is 1. Kenton, 15 times what is 1? 1/15. Very good. 15 times 1/15 is 1. Now, this one over here. 4 1/3 times what is 1? We need to find the inverse of this. So, Adam, first thing we have to do, change this to an improper fraction. 4 times 3 is, plus 1 is 13. So this is 13. Linda, what's the multiplicative inverse of that? 3/13. So Colin, 4 1/3 times 3/13 is, what's a number times its inverse always equal to? I'll give you a hint. It's written there, and there, and there. 1. A number times its inverse is always 1. Now, let's look at these. All right. Now, we are going to solve for a variable. All right? Solve for a variable. Now, anytime you solve for a variable, you do the opposite. Okay? Can somebody read this for me? What does this say? Adam? A over 8. Give me another word. Say A plus, minus, times, or divided by 8. What is that? Say it again. A divided by 8. Anytime you solve for a variable, you do the opposite. So, Jordan, what is the opposite of A divided by 8?
8. times 8.
Times, okay? So, I need to get rid of this 8 by multiplying both sides by 8. Now watch. When I do that, this side, the 8 is just eliminated. And I have A equals what, Calvin? 40. A equals 40. Over here, 15 equals y divided by 2. Cheyenne, what's my step? Multiply both sides by 2. This will cancel. 15 times 2 is 30 equals y. Everybody do number 11 for me. You can use a calculator if you have it. All right. Nathan, what's the opposite of h divided by 3.1? Very good. So I need to multiply both sides by 3.1. This side will cancel. I have h equals what? Did you have it, Janae? 21.7. H equals 21.7. So, down here, everybody just use your calculators for this. Skylar, what do I have to do to solve this? Very good. I'm going to multiply both sides by 2.5. Now, I'm going to be, in this case, it doesn't matter, but here's how I want you to think about this, be hearing this, because when we divide, it does matter. 0.9 times 2.5. And I would ask you, enter it in your calculator like that. The side that's by itself, 0.9 times 2.5. What is my answer? Trevor, what's my answer? 2.25 is equal to m. Over here, number 14. Alejandro, what do I need to do? Very good. I need to multiply both sides by 5.4. So, again, I'm going to ask you, enter this in your calculator. Think about it this way. 9 times 5.4. Carl, what is that? Do you have a calculator? Darlene?
48.6.
48.6. Now, next comes a conundrum. All right? Here is the problem. I know how the book wants me to teach you this. All right? However, I know also what you're going to need to do in Algebra 1. Okay? So, I'm going to teach you what the book says. I will also show you what you will need to do in Algebra 1, and you can choose which way you want to learn these. Okay? I have 3/7 times g. All right? Now, basically what I need to do, I need to get this back to just 1g. All right? So, I know that if I multiply this number right here by its inverse, that is going to be 1, right? I can take 3/7, multiply it by 7/3, that's 1. All I have left over here is g. I have to multiply on both sides. To multiply, just go across, reduce before it's a lot. So, 3 times 7 is 21. All right? Now, let me show you what you're going to hear me say in Algebra 1. Anytime you have a fraction, clear it out. All right? I just want to clear it out. I'm going to clear it by multiplying by what's on the bottom. Okay? So if I multiply this entire thing by 7, all that happens is this 7 cancels on this side. Okay? That 7's gone. I've just got 3g. Right? Because the opposite of divided by 7 is multiplied by 7. It cancels. And over here, 9 times 7 is going to be 63. Now look how easy that is. All right? Nobody's scared of that problem, right? Divided by 3, g equals 21. All right? Come over here. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to clear it out first by multiplying by 8. When I multiply this entire thing by 8, this 8 will cancel, and I'll have 3n. And over here, 8 times 1 is 8, divided by 4 is 2. One last step. Everybody can get this? Divided by 3, n equals 2/3. Over here, clear out the fractions first. I've got a 5 on the bottom. Let's multiply this whole thing by 5. All right? Everybody try that. Clear out your fractions first by multiplying by 5, and then solve it and see what you get. Okay. Now, when I multiply this by 5, it will cancel this 5, and all I have is 2. When I multiply this by 5, it will cancel that 5, and I have a 4c. Now, how do I solve this? Alex, how do I get rid of this 4?
Divided by 2.
I need to divide by c. I know how do.
Oh, 4 divided by. Wait.
It's okay. This is 4 times c. What's the opposite of times? Divide. So I need to divide both sides by 4. All right? So 2 divided by 4 is going to be 1/2. 2/4 will reduce to 1/2. So your answer is 1/2 equals c. All right? So my suggestion, you can do either way. You can multiply it by the inverse to get rid of it. But my suggestion, and what you're going to do in Algebra 1, just clear out those fractions first, okay? Multiply both sides by 5 and solve from there. All right? Now, those are hard. I know that. I get that. All right. Here's your comment. It says, a math-phobic's nightmare. What's a math-phobic? Somebody who's scared of math, right? All right? Don't really exist. Nobody's scared of math. This is just fiction. It's just a comic, okay? So we've got this guy, and it's a little hard to see, but this is heaven, right? Pearly gates. There's St. Peter, or an angel, and he says, okay, now listen up. Nobody gets in here without answering the following question. A train leaves Philadelphia at 1 p.m. It's traveling at 65 miles per hour. Another train leaves Denver at 4 o'clock. Say, you need some paper? Show your work and get that answer right. Okay, there you go. Because if you want to go to heaven someday, you might need to know this.